What's up, guys? With double XP coming up really soon, I decided I was going to show you guys some really awesome, fast, and profitable crafting methods. You can do these methods outside of double XP too, and sometimes it might even be better to do that just because of the fact that you'll get the prices a little bit cheaper. But I am going to give you guys some tips and stuff on how to do these crafting methods very quickly, and I'm also going to be showing you some methods of making it so that if you are doing it during double XP, then you'll be able to save some money and do it the right way during double XP. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump on in. So our first money-making method and crafting method, it's actually super exciting that we're able to get a super ultra fast method of crafting as well as money-making. This is something that I remember a long time ago when I was doing my crafting to 200 million that I really wish there was more profitable options. I just ended up doing Dragonstone. So if you don't need money at all, then Dragonstone is definitely probably the way you want to go still. Just because it's super chill, super relaxed, and it's not too expensive, and it's really great to do during double XP. But I'm going to show you guys these methods right here that make you a lot of money. So right now, we've got these battle stabs, which are only 4107. It's absolutely crazy. During the double XP prep time, it's going to be very, very difficult to buy these under GE. But when it's not double XP time, then keep these in mind that you are able to buy these for even lower. So offering a few hundred less than this or whatever is definitely possible. So that's something to look out for outside of double XP. And then we've also got these different orbs. Before I jump in really quick, I'm going to give you guys the first tip about double XP also. The time leading up to double XP, like right after the announcement, and then also the beginning of double XP, like the first few days, prices of all the supplies are going to be really, really high. So if you are able to wait, like let's say you want to do multiple skills or whatever, or you're not going to be training on the very beginning of double XP, then it's a very, very good idea to buy up your supplies after those first few days because prices will go down a lot. Sometimes on certain things, the prices will actually go way, way down, like below where they were before. An example would be this battle staff. You could see them at like something like 3,500 or whatever. That's just an example, but it is possible to see like huge price dips after the beginning of double XP. So keep that in mind while you are planning out your training. So if you're looking at this though, 4107, and then we've got water orbs at 261. It is so crazy. That is less than 4,400 to make a water battle staff, which is wild. The high alch on these is going to be a much, much higher number, which I'll show you in just a moment. And then we've got earth orbs are even cheaper. So making these plus these is like 4,200. It's so crazy. The air orbs are going to be a bit higher, but that's because air orbs are going to be the fastest XP option, but they are still profitable and still a great buy. And then we got fire orbs, which are extremely cheap. And in all honesty, if you want to, and actually what I'll do is I'll go ahead and explain the cost and price, like the cost and XP breakdown in just a moment. But anyway, these are all the prices of the things we got right here. And I'm going to show you guys a really cool trick to do this with. So one of the like obvious ways of doing this, and the way that most people will end up doing this, and probably the recommended way, honestly, is just to get an inventory of about 14 of the battle stabs and then 14 of your orbs. And then all you have to do is have your take your orb and drag it down to your ability bar down here, and then you're going to right click it and customize keybind, and then you're going to just simply click the number that you want that to be keybound to. If you were only doing one type of orb, like one type of battle staff, then a really great idea too would be to go over to the banker, and then when you are in the banker, you're going to click on presets, go to the cog, and then at the very top one, you're going to set it to a preset where it is all of your crafting materials. So whether you are doing this this one tick method I'm about to show you, I'm pretty sure it's one tick, but anyway, it's a very, very fast method of using all four. Whether or not they're using this one or using the 14 orbs and battle staff method, you can also do a familiar, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and mention that now that both the methods I'm going to show you today, the battle stabs and also the next method, can be improved a little bit by using a Beast of Burden. But the only thing is though, is if you want a very chill experience, then I don't recommend the Beast of Burden, just because of the fact that you are going to have to click more often, and it does only increase your XP by a little bit. So overall, whichever way you choose, you want to set up your preset like this, and then you want to bring it to the number that correlates with the number you just put down here. So if I put water orb at 2, then I'm going to move my crafting to number 2 right here. And then that way, all I have to do is open up the bank, click 2, and then click 2 again, and then I start crafting if I am close to a crafter. Now, The reason why you want to be close to a crafter, I'm not going to run through every single one of the crafting boosts. I might do that in a future video, but in this video, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter and not go through every crafting boost there is. But using a porter is definitely, like a portable is definitely something you really want to be doing. And you can use them on World 84. You can go to the Lumbridge, which is probably going to be better because they're usually closer to the bank chest. And also the bank chest is a little bit easier to use than this guy over here. But I am just going to show you this example right here, and I'm not going to be using this portable. But just keep in mind, you want to. So what we can do for this, for the first method I mentioned, you can just have 14 and 14 or a little bit more if you're using Beast of Burden, and then just simply hit your number and then you'll start crafting. That is going to give you about 2,500 battle staff crafts per hour. It's going to be very, very fast, and I will show you the XP breakdown in just a moment. But the other method I wanted to show you guys is going to be the, I think it's a 1-tick method. I'm not 100% sure, I'll be honest with you, but it's very, very, very fast. What you want to do is simply like this. You want to fill up your inventory with groups of your orbs and battle staves. So we've got a total of 8 different items that are in my inventory. We've got 28 spots. So that means we're going to be using about 3 different sets. So roughly 3 different sets if we're not using a Beast of Burden once again. And then what that is going to do is we're going to take our orbs and drag them down to the ability bar like I just mentioned again. And you want to put them in, the easiest method is going to put them in 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that way, what you can do is you can just simply click 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll show you what that looks like. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And if any of them ever fail, which they did not fail, they all went as quick as possible. As you can see, making that is super, super fast. So if you have an inventory of these different sets, so 3 different sets, so that's 3 orbs and 3 battle staffs for every battle staff you want to make, it is way faster than if you are doing the typical 14 and 14 methods. So instead of 2,500 per hour, you're going to get a lot more than that. I don't actually know what the exact amount of battle staffs you'll make per hour, I'll be honest with you, but you can definitely look for a huge increase in your XP and also a huge increase in the amount of money you're going to make by doing that method. Although just remember though, as you could probably already tell, it is a very, very click intensive method. Something else I want to mention too is if you do have the 3 sets of each, you do not want to make all the water, then make all the earth, then make all the fire, then make all the air. You don't want to do that because that will be the exact same speed as you doing the 14 and 14 method. You want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, bank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, bank, and then repeat, 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 repeat. It is a lot more work, but it is way, way faster. So this right here is going to be the wiki page, which I definitely recommend you opening. All you have to do is search for crafting battle staves in the RuneScape wiki, and then it will bring up the RuneScape wiki page of crafting battle staves. So if you want to know how much profit approximately you'll be making and how much XP per hour you'll be making by doing the standard method, oh my goodness, I can't talk, of the 14 and 14, then this right here. Keep in mind, this does not include any type of boost, as it says down here with the portables giving you 10% more XP. It does not involve that. So if we're looking at the air battle staves, for example, this 378 is definitely more over 400,000 if you're using a portable, so keep that in mind. But this is a really great way of giving a very rough idea of how much you'll be making. The XP per hour, the base XP per hour is going to be very accurate. The number that you'll make per hour is going to be accurate. But the profit is going to vary depending on how you get rid of your battle staves and also how much you pay for the battle staves. So something to keep in mind too is that you are able to just go ahead and sell the battle staves back in the Grand Exchange. That is going to be the lowest amount of profit method. It is going to be more money to throw them into your alchemizer, and it's going to be even more money if you do high alching. Now I know that a lot of people don't high alch anymore. It's like something that's kind of an old school type of thing, but there are different situations where high alcheming actually still pretty good. Like for example, if you are on standard spell books and you're doing combat, you can actually cast high alch during combat. So that means you can do it without spending any time on it, which does make it a very good way to improve your XP per hour on magic and also to give you more money by doing that. So that is a great way to do it. Another way to do your high alching is if you are to be doing a whole bunch of running around like doing quests, you can also high alch while you are going around on quests. So if we look through right here, you can definitely see how the amount of XP is going to vary and also the amount of profit. By the just to give you the quick rundown though, the air battle staves are going to be your highest amount of profit and a pretty solid amount of money. And then your fire battle staves are going to be the highest amount of money that still gives you a very good amount of XP. As long as you have the levels required, I really don't recommend that you do the earth battle staves or the water battle staves, just because those are lower profit, and then some of these, like, it's actually lower profit than this. It's actually, yeah. Honestly, if you're able to do fire and air, there's no reason to choose earth and water. I would just go with fire if you want to make more money, and then air if you want to prioritize the XP, which ultimately that is the one that I would recommend doing, is the one that prioritizes XP, because you can always make more money later. Our next really fast and profitable way of doing crafting is something that has not always been profitable. Now, the battle staves themselves have not always been profitable either, but the dragon hide items have definitely not always been profitable. But now they are profitable, which is kind of mind-blowing to me and is very, very surprising. I think this is the reason why is because most people do prefer to the Dragonstone method, and ultimately, like I said, that is the best method you can do for crafting still if you are just not caring too much about the money. It is actually not this bad at all for the profit. I mean, sorry, for the cost. You can actually significantly cut down the cost of Dragonstones with some methods, but if you guys want to see just a super fast crafting video, then I can make one of those too. Just leave down in the comments below and I'll make you a crafting guide, but I'm not going to go into Dragonstones too much because it's not really about this video. But what we're going to be looking at is the Dragon Hide armor, which is definitely fantastic to make. So as you can see right here, the Dragon Hide shield is going to be the highest XP per hour. It is still profit, and it is a pretty low amount of profit per hour, but there are ways to improve this amount of money per hour. So no matter which one you are preferring to do, there are many boosts you can do, such as being able to save leathers. So there are boosts that allow you to save leathers. The Portable Crafter is the most obvious one for that one. Using the Brooch of the Gods is also fantastic to increase the number of those leathers you save and other things like that. So this right here is not going to include the amount of leather that you save. So whatever profit per hour you see here, you can bump that up a little bit on all these numbers just because you'll be saving some extra leather. But as you can see, it is already a base better amount of XP. Like it's 550,000 amount of XP per hour and already has an okay amount of profit per hour. Definitely not going to be making a big bank on that. If you want to prioritize just straight up making money while you're doing this, then I would recommend doing something closer to the green dragon hide shield. The blue dragon hide shield you can do as well, but I'm pretty sure that the blue D hides they buy for the blue dragon leather, sorry, they buy a little bit less frequently, but you can do any of these other methods that have a higher number. Something else to mention too is that making the dragon hide bodies is going to be a bit more chill than doing the dragon hide shields, just because the dragon hide shields you require more leathers to make than the bodies do, which means you're going to be banking more often with a shield. Now, as I mentioned before, using a familiar is going to improve the amount of XP per hour you get even higher than this, which also improves your profit per hour. But using a pack yak and stuff like that will oftentimes make it so that you are needing to bank a bit more often. So I'm going to close this video out by giving you a little bit of an honorable mention. So an honorable mention on this one is the fact that you can take these black dragon hide leathers, for example, and you see they're costing about $21.32 each right now. And if you look at the black dragon hide van braces, they are at $26.07. So you make a little over 500 each when you make the van braces. If you click on one of your dragon hides, they'll tell you how many of the leathers and stuff it's going to require to make each item. And if you look at the black dragon hide van braces, it's only one, which means that you're going to make a solid 500 for each one that you make. And the cool thing about this is when you click on craft on this one, you've got a full 50 seconds of XP that you're going to be gaining here, which is really, really nice. Now, if we come over to this portable crafter, as I mentioned before, that you should be using, there was not one here before. But now we've got this, so it still takes a full 50 seconds and we're getting about 300 XP per hour, a little bit around that. Now keep in mind, I'm not wearing any of the crafter stuff, so you can definitely improve the amount of XP per hour that you're getting and per craft you're getting by wearing the better stuff you're supposed to be wearing. But this is pretty fantastic because it does still save black dragon leather, as mentioned right here. And when you're only doing one craft at a time, it's pretty great because that means you're just getting a whole free van brace. Now, these van braces are something that you are going to be able to just AFK a lot easier than AFKing some of the other things, but it is going to be dramatically less XP than doing the bodies or the shields, so I would definitely keep that in mind. If we look at the high alch value of these as well too, you've got a 25.92. It's really not... The high alch value and the GE value for these are basically the same. So it's not really anything that you are going to be like getting a lot more if you were to high alch these. But if we look at the battle staves, for example, let's go ahead and pull out one of these water battle staves. And you can see there's actually a pretty big difference too, because as I mentioned before, you can just go ahead and sell them back if you want to, which you'll get about almost 7,000, which also, pro tip here, you can definitely wait a little bit longer and sell these for more. That happens to a lot of items in the game, especially alchables, is you can just throw them in for a little bit more, so maybe 7,200 or 7,300, and they'll probably sell off. But then, if you look at the high alch value though, we're looking at 9,300. So if you're able to alch these off rather than just going and selling them off, you're going to make a lot more money if making money is your goal. Anyway, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. My last little pro tip for double XP, by the way, is going to be something that I always do on my accounts. And that is that when I am doing a training method, like let's talk about those dragon stones, for example, the cut dragon stones will go for a very low amount of money during double XP and shortly after double XP, but then much later on they will skyrocket back up and you'll get a lot more. During the last double XP, I think I was able to like buy some cut dragon stones for like 3,100 or 3,200, something around that. Anyway, they've just recently been selling off in my GEs. I actually held them for the entire 3 months, which is kind of unfortunate. If you do need to hold them, just keep that in mind too, that you'll be wrapping up some money. So if you're kind of limited on money, they might not be able to do this trick, but if you are able to hold on to them and not worry about the money, that's a great trick to do, because I was able to sell off my dragon stones after certain double XPs for anywhere from 4,100 to 4,500. That is a large amount of money that I'm being able to save by doing that. If you are doing like a 99 crafting, and let's say you cut like 30,000 dragon stones, which is pretty realistic for doing 99 crafting, then that is an extra basically 30 million gold you'll be saving by doing that trick and not selling them right after. Also, while making this video, I realized that the zombie walk is really creepy. I don't even know why people like it so much. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.